Hello, and welcome to What We Do in the Moonlight, where it's not a phase to get stressed about someone sabotaging your wedding when the real danger is yourself and the feelings you won't let out.
Today, we are talking about What We Do in the Shadows, Season 4, Episode 6, The Wedding! In this episode, it's MARWA and Nandor's wedding day, and Nandor is so stressed about everything being absolutely perfect that his list of requests of what he needs for said wedding is so long and demanding that Guillermo is running on no sleep and Red Bull. Meanwhile, Nadia and the guide assist the Baron in finding his new look to officiate the wedding, and the Djinn grants Nandor a wish that may be a surprise tool that we'll use for later.
Hello, my name is Emberlin, and Huh? What?
I'm Kaitlin, and you all saw what I saw, right?
Right.
Huh?
What?
Mommy? Pick me up, I'm scared.
Meow.
So all of that being eloquently said, what were your immediate reactions to this episode?
Wow. I was like, they really put everything in this one. The gay guy, the Baron, what's his face from the gas station.
Oh my god,
Derek, baby Colin Robinson, Nandor Gammon confirmed. And my baby boy Sean.
Sean. 2 episodes in a row for Sean. We love to see it.
I want more Sean. I want Sean every episode. I want Sean to actually become the main character. How about you?
This episode gave me heart palpitations. The What We Do in the Shadows social media team they were hyping this episode up, and I don't mean like hype up, but they were more like they saw us all going, wow, episode 5 is the best episode yet, and they're like, just you wait. And they also retweeted the elbow with fire emoji, which I feel like just really sums it all up.
It is.
And I only have incoherent screams to fully explain my feelings. So I think we should just get into it because much happened.
Because not like what? That's how I feel.
Guys, this episode broke us.
This episode took me someplace that I didn't know I wanted to be or needed to be, and now I'm there and I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, you know that scene where you hear a bunch of screaming and destruction from outside the room when Nadia and the guy are talking, and then Guillermo opens up the door to feathers falling all around him and the room is destroyed, and he just goes, I'm fine. That's me about this episode.
That's valid. That is so valid. Did you have any other favorite parts?
The dress up montage between the Baron and Nadia and the guide, and my god, I cannot remember the big creature's name, but him. Is it like the sire or something? He's got like a name. Yeah, so sorry. I meant to look it up beforehand, but other things were occupying my thoughts. I love that. I thought it was really cute, and then they're all like lying on the floor together at the end. Adorable. Sean becoming besties with the Wraiths was hilarious.
Yes.
Not something that I needed, but like just the way that they all hiss at him and he goes, yeah, you get it.
You get it.
Like, of course. I just really, really love Sean, and I'm so happy that he was here again. Nadia screaming so loud that the sound goes out for like the second or third time this season. I love that because same.
Yes.
The Go Flip Yourself commercial.
The Go Flip Yourself commercial.
I didn't even like register at first because like, you know how they always have like that card and it's just like like the content warnings about like the show that always play beforehand, and then like another commercial started playing, and I was just every time I see that I'm like, all right, it's back, let's go, and I'm ready, and I put my phone down, and then this commercial starts playing, and I was like, oh, what the heck? But then I was like, wait a minute.
Yes.
Is this the show that Laszlo watched?
Yes! That was my exact reaction.
It was so good. So I really liked it. And then, obviously, my very, very favorite part of this entire episode. I wish that MARWA will like all the same things I like.
And she did.
And then she did. What were your favorite parts from episode 6?
First of all, yes, the go flip yourself commercial, because it was like, viewer discretion is advised. And then all of a sudden that, and I was like, what is going on? And then the moment I realized, I was like, because at first I was going to start adjusting my TV thing, because I was like, oh God, maybe I like accidentally sat on the remote. Yeah. But then when it hit me, I literally started like screaming. Me too. I was like, oh my God. And there's just something about that being in this episode. Like it just it does a really great job of distinguishing it from, I think, every other episode in the entire series, because I think it just, it's like them sending us a message. It's like the writer sending a message that this episode is different.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more. And especially since we've been rewatching the series with one of our friends who we just got into it. Shout out Sam.
Shout out Sam.
And just realizing how much this show has actually changed over the past couple of years that it's been on, and the way that like the writers have really found their groove with each of their characters. It just really feels like every episode now they're taking it to the next level, and I really appreciate that.
Do you think that they put the Go Flip Yourself commercial in where they were renovating and restoring a house because the events that might lead up to this might flip everything in the house and the dynamics completely?
I do think that. I do think that.
Because otherwise, like, not that they need a reason, but there was no reason for that commercial to play in this episode. Like,
I agree. I was trying to say that without saying that, but like that's exactly what I think it is, because it feels like with everything else that's been going on with, for example, Laszlo's hyperfixation on like this show, and like how the dynamics already seem to be setting themselves up for a little bit of a change. And the fact that we're kind of like episodes 5 and 6 were kind of the midpoint in the season. Yeah, I really do sense that is the case. Like that is the direction we're going in. The dynamics are going to flip. Things are going to be different. Like already things are starting to be different. I mean, we've seen Nadja in the guide take a big step in actually helping Guillermo and like,
I know,
wanting to be supportive of him in this space. It's just, it feels different but good.
It's all getting flipped.
It's all getting flipped, and I love it. I love it. I love the implications. I love the writers for this. Wow.
Oh my God, I love this episode so much.
It's so good. Oh yeah, I'm still on my part. Whoops. I agree with you. The Baron's makeover montage. Really, like the moment I started hearing Hall & Oates play, I was like, what the fuck is going on? So and good. It just holds a special, like that kind of comedy where it's kind of cheesy, but like it's like parody or it's like satire of other like tropes in popular TV and media is so special to me, and I just laughed so hard. And I love Nadja and the guide together as like a girl group. Like they're so funny.
I love it.
I've been wanting this for a while, and I'm glad I got it. And then the Baron's actual makeover.
Oh my God. It's so funny because when Nandor wished for him to be restored to himself, I was just, all I could picture was how he looked in like the very first episode of the show.
That's what I think I would have expected too.
And so when he showed up with like his actual face and everything, I was like, oh yeah, duh. Like, good for him.
Yeah, like it didn't hit me until maybe like a couple of minutes in, and I was like, oh. And also, I just want to point out that I thought when he first came out that it was Jamie Campbell Bower from Stranger Things, because I was like, hello?
You're in this too?
Oh my God. I said, no way. They couldn't have known he'd be so popular when they filmed this.
I believe his name is Doug Jones is the actor's name.
It is Doug Jones. Yeah. And we love him. And then...
He does look a lot like Jamie Campbell Bower, though.
Right. Like
same
an older...
vibes.
Yeah.
We know about man's future.
Yes. And then the Wraith's outburst when she's like talking with Guillermo, and she's like, you work for so long and no one appreciates you. The guide. And not just like... Yeah, or sorry, yeah, the guide. I'm always like the Wraith because I'm thinking about Shadow and Bone and I'm thinking about the Wraiths. And I was like, huh? And she's like, nothing.
I know. I love that. Huh? What?
And then actually later on when she was like, when the guide is like, oh, like, I fell in love with the MARWA when I first met her. I was like, oh, me too.
Didn't we all?
Same.
Didn't we all?
Same.
I love that everyone has just taken MARWA and being like, you deserve so much better. Please come here.
Yes.
And we just like adopt her and be like, we'll protect you.
She's so cute. She deserves the world. Like, excuse me. And then I, of course, jumped out of my skin at, wait, all the things that he likes. Like, I was like, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
None of that was coherent, but did you have a favorite quote from the episode?
Oh, I got a few as per usual. The first one that made me laugh out loud was when Nadia asked Guillermo, did you kick 5 holes in the wall and then fuck a chicken?
Yes.
just I don't know, just the way she said it and like how matter of fact it was, like, yes, of course that's what he did. When Nadia says to the guide, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And the guide responds that the Baron's still fuckable even though he looks like a burnt log. It just really gets me. And then Nadia agrees, like, oh, of course, he's still fuckable. There's no question about that. Anyway, we need to do a makeover. And just the fact that the guy's just falling in love with everyone, like, I mean, same.
Yes. Same. Every day. As Hosier said.
I fall in love just a little bit every day with someone new.
It's true.
It is true. He was right for that. When Nandor said, you are my best man. More thoughts on that later, but Emberlin summed it up perfectly just then. When the Baron asked for any objections to the wedding, and Marwa's mom objects, and then there's just a pause, and then the Baron just goes, so that happened.
So that happened.
It just made me think of, like, you know, like the meme of, so that happened.
Well, that just happened. Yeah.
That made me laugh. When Nadia is the next person to object to the wedding, and which was just hilarious on its own, and she goes, I sort of feel like this is more about Nandor wanting a big wedding and wear a big dress than being married to MARWA. Facts are facts. And you know what?
Facts are facts.
She's right. The Baron's walking out in his full, like, original form, and Laszlo and Nadia are just like fawning over him, and you hear Laszlo in the background go, oh, I'm gonna be all over that later.
Yes.
And then finally, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I wished that MARWA will like all the same things I like.
Help.
Eating dry.
Help. So mine were in no particular order, but actually the order of the episode, I think, because that's how I watched it and took notes. But when in the beginning when Naja's talking about, like, humans, and she's like, so buttery in my mouth.
I loved how she said that.
Just, like, really sticks with me. Like, I remember that from the original promos for the season, and I was like, I'm ready for her.
Oh, that's
whatever
why,
she has to bring me.
It felt familiar. Okay.
Whatever she brings me this season, I'm here for. When Sean and his wife are sitting at the wedding, and they're turning around talking to the other vampires, and he goes, "You're a vampire too? Get the fuck out!"
I love him so much.
His delivery is so flawless. Like, he's just some guy from Staten Island, and he's just around all these vampires. And it also appears, which I'm fascinated by, that it no longer, like, vampire magic no longer works on him.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, like, they did hypnotize him to be like, you're not going to be freaked out by anything that you see. But I don't think anything phases him. Like, we had, like, that, you know, the Brain Scramblies episode where he did go a little insane that they were vampires. But I feel like from that episode forward, because of the Scramblies, he's built different now. And, like, you're so right about his delivery, because the moment I fell in love with Sean was, like the one of the first times that we ever see him, when Laszlo hypnotizes him, being like, you are not fazed by anything that you see out here, and, like, nothing's happening. He goes, just how I like it, and I'm going inside.
Like, just how I like it, and I'm going inside.
He's so good. Like, he's everyone's favorite neighbor.
He is.
I love
my
him.
favorite neighbor. I wish Sean was my neighbor. That's all I'm trying to say.
Me too.
And then and then I had another favorite line from when Laszlo was oogling and googling the Baron. When he's like, I'm stiff as a board. I shat myself because he's just, again, another man who's very good with his delivery in this show.
Truly. That's why him and Sean are made for each other.
And then also when the sire gives his speech and they're like, you taught him to speak English, and then like basically like you find out the Baron taught him to speak English.
Yeah.
And I couldn't totally pick up the line without subtitles, but he goes, time lays waste to all and time turns to dust, something is inevitable, something, it just, that whole, I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
The tone change of immediate, like everyone's just like, oh, okay.
Okay. I love being the person at the party that's like, time lays waste to all.
Tag yourself.
And then I finally found it. I forgot to when the guide says, I forgot to mention I fell deeply in love with Marwa when I first met her.
So
and then who will come first on the wedding night?
Oh my god, stuck in my head already. Another banger.
Oh, in my head. Yep. So speaking of bangers, what song should you be playing? Well, would you be playing when you walk down the aisle at your vampire wedding?
I am Nadja and Laszlo's #1 fan, so I said "The Housemate" by Nadja and Laszlo, which is the second song they performed, and it played at the end of the episode.
Yes,
and
it's
just
so
one
funny.
of them going like "Nandor the Relentless," and like singing about
Nandor the Relentless. Yeah, it was adorable. How
about you?
Obviously, Who Will Come First on Their Wedding Night
Such
by
a
Nadja
banger.
and Laszlo Cravensworth. Yeah.
Oh, they really put everything into that. I loved it. It just made me, it was like at first, like I wasn't kind of paying attention to what they were saying, and then they started singing, and I was like, wait, this is so good.
More proof that they have everything I love about this show in this episode, including mom and dad singing.
Yeah.
So,
Our parents are singing this episode.
yeah.
Everything is right. Who is a character that you would bring a dodo bird back to life for?
Guillermo in the guide, the former because he has everything and his suit was so cute and I love him.
Yes.
And I just want him to have the best in the world. And the guide because I don't think I have to explain myself. She is just in love with every single person there. I'm in love with her. I want her to have everything in the entire world.
Same. I said poor Derek because he just wants one chill bud. This poor kid has been turned into a vampire. Was that like what, back in season 2 or and like he's just this entire time he's been like, he just wants a friend.
He just wants a fucking friend.
He's like just trying to live and to make money, and then Guillermo shows up, and which was so sweet when he was just like, Derek, are you okay?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's sweet. And then he goes, you want to come to a vampire wedding? I'll call you. And Derek goes, wait, you've had my number this entire time?
Literally, that part got me. Because, like,
poor kid. Oh, my God. So, yeah, him, because he really just deserves one chill bud like he wants. And then, of course, I said Marwa because I'll say it. She deserves better.
Marwa deserves the world and then some. Yeah.
Truly.
It's upsetting that she is not getting the world and then some. I'll also say to your former point, I think the two greatest horrors in my life are the recognition that somebody that I've just like haven't seen in a while, but I miss hanging out with, comes up to me on the street and is like, I'll text you. And you're like, wait, you had had my number the whole time.
Yeah, huh?
Or you text somebody that you haven't texted in a while and they're like, who is this?
Yeah, opposite ends of
Those
the
are
spectrum, but they're both equally as terrifying.
my two biggest fears in life. So here's a question for the people in the audience and then Kaitlin as well. Who is a character you would make clean up the Dodo's bird shit?
Nandor, buddy, hey, just like so he could learn a lesson of like get your head out of your ass, you know?
Yeah.
Not that he really did anything wrong in this episode, but just the fact that he doesn't know what's going on, but we all do, and I just want him to see. I just want him to see that this marriage to Marwa is not what you want. Open your eyes, Guillermo's right there.
He's right there. And also, yeah, I was on the same page because, like, he needs to get his shit together. He is married to this woman and in love with another man. Like, get help.
Yeah.
Get help.
Get help, buddy. It'll be okay.
Get help.
Oh, man. So, as we can see, that we very much love this episode, but specifically, were there 2 moments that really wiggled your wagon and 1 moment that maybe made you want to fall off a bridge, aka 2 peaks in a valley?
I'd be wanting to fall off a bridge every day except for when I watch the show. That's when when my wagon's wiggling. So my first peak was obviously that Sean is here again.
Yes.
I love Sean. I would do anything for Sean. I really would. Like, I love men from Staten Island. They just have a special character about them.
Yeah.
How about you? What was your first peak?
My first peak was Nandor being stressed the entire episode. And I just had our friend Sam's voice in our head the entire time because a few days ago we got Sam to watch the entirety of Our Flag Means Death because we know what's good for her. And every time Izzy was on screen, she would always like laugh, scream, "He's so stressed!" And that's all I could think about Nandor this episode is that he was so stressed the entire time, and like all he needs to do to help himself is just open up the closet door and come out. Like
open up the closet door.
He was so like he goes, "Someone's gonna sabotage my wedding," and we're like, "It's you. You're kind of like stressing yourself over this." But then it turns out that actually everyone objected to the wedding.
Everyone objected to the wedding.
Like, what does that tell you?
Na 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 na.
What was your second peak?
My second peak. Oh, when Guillermo tells Nandor he'd be right by his side.
Yes.
I don't know why I said Marwa's side in my notes. I'm not well. And then like when they had that little shoulder touch moment, that really like wiggled my way. Honestly, just like the validate. It's weird because I think for the past couple of months, you and I have been going like kind of like, I wonder if this is real.
Yeah.
Like, and then I feel like last night was so validating in a lot of ways. It's like, it's interesting because it's validating. It's validating to hear like, to see that plot line get set up with MARWA, of like Guillermo being something that Nandor likes, and thus MARWA's going to like him too, maybe a lot. That's so, it's just, I don't know what to say. Like, I wasn't expecting it. I think I'm still kind of in awe that it happened, like still kind of shocked, but the validation is there, and I just feel like I can take my clown shoes off finally and live in the moment.
Yeah. I have to say, like, before I started watching this show, like, I did know that people shipped them, but I just kind of assumed it was like a subtext thing because sometimes that's all you ever get. Yeah. And so we all have to put the pieces together ourselves. But I started the show with that in mind and being like, I would be okay if this never happened, but also I totally see it, like how it could possibly happen. But it was always usually one-sided from Guillermo, and now it's totally flipped. And just the more the show goes on, the more I'm like, this could happen, and I think it'd be really cool if they went in this direction, because I have said it on this podcast before, I really think this is a slow burn because we have 2 more seasons after this. So I really do think that this is the direction that they're going in, and I love to see it. And watching last night's episode just had me yelling so loud. I'm like, we're actually doing this? We're and I'm just so excited because like to watch this all unfold and like actually happen and be acknowledged on the show more than just like little tiny moment. I don't know. This is a lot. So
it is a lot. It is a lot. It's a good feeling. It's just a lot.
I'm very excited to see where this goes because I know it's going in the direction that I want it to.
Same. And it's so comforting. Yeah.
All that to say, my second peak was when MARWA went over to Guillermo and started kissing his face and hugging him, confirming that she likes all the same things that Nandor likes. And she tells Guillermo, "I don't know what I would do without you," and then like kisses him and everything. Like, I had texted you and I were texting back and forth at this point, and I was like, if MARWA so much as even looks in Guillermo's direction, I'm gonna scream. And so when she walked over to his table, I was like, fuck, we're doing this. Like, oh my god. So that took took me right out.
Yeah.
But then also the scene between Guillermo and Nandor before they go out for the wedding. Nandor's face when Guillermo tells him, I'm going to be right by your side. Just the soft look on this man's face looking at Guillermo and just his little shoulder touch. Oh, my God.
Girl.
Hello?
Girl.
How does he not see it?
What the tits.
What the tits, indeed. Did you have a valley for this episode?
Maybe it's because we were filming, obviously, like, the morning after air. Maybe I just haven't had time to think about it, but, like, I don't think so. No, it was a good episode. I feel like maybe the pacing in the beginning was kind of weird, but because, like, you go from, like, it was basically, like, you start with, like, oh, there's a wedding happening to, like, the climax of, like, everything that happens after. But that might have also just been me, like, a me problem, honestly. Like, I can't even complain. No, I don't have, you?
Huh?
What?
No, I have no valley. I literally just, in my notes, it says valley. I wrote, huh?
Yeah.
I don't. And I watched it immediately after again last night. And it's just like, same. There's not a part I didn't like. It was really good.
It was good.
The only valley I have is that there's commercials. And sometimes I think that, like, sometimes will throw me off, which I think, like, the pacing thing that you're talking about. Because
that could be.
I'm so used to no commercials now which is hilarious because I could go off a whole thing about how we watch TV, but I won't. But I'm so used to not having commercials anymore. So, like, sometimes I'll watch it again when it comes out on Hulu just to have it all straightforward and together. So it's not like you were in the house preparing for the wedding and now all of a sudden it's the wedding and now the wedding's already over. Like, So I think sometimes it flows better without the commercials, but what are you going to do? But that's not really even a valley. That's just me hating commercials and being advertised too. So
yeah, no, understandably. Like, I kind of felt that way too. Like, because I don't know, like, it works better when you're streaming it on Hulu. It makes more sense for some reason. Yeah. Like, it makes more sense.
It really does.
Also, it was interesting to me because I also felt like maybe it ran over 10:30 a little bit. Maybe. I don't know if there was a reason for that. If it was, like, because there was a movie on before.
I don't know, maybe.
But, like, when it hit 10:30, I was looking at the clock and I was like, what the fuck could possibly happen? It's 10:30. And then, like, more things happened. And I was like, wow.
This episode just keeps going.
It goes all night. It's just like, we see, like, they play the whole rest of the season.
Oh my God, I would die.
So now we have the opportunity to fill in some unexpected and yet welcomed bingo board pieces on our bingo board.
How we doing?
Surprisingly well. So this week we get to fill in, and I can't believe I get to say this, we filled in the wedding episode ends with the revelation that Nandor loves Guillermo.
Woo! Let's go!
We are living in blessed times.
We're here.
We are here. We are here. And we really are. Like, I feel like there's been a universal shift over the past couple of days. Like, I don't know if anyone else is getting that vibe, but I feel like shit's going a different direction in the world, and I don't know what that direction is, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, because of okay. So originally, now I'm thinking. I think I put this in last night. I said lesbian vampires because of the guide's mention that she was in love with MARWA when she first met her, but that is erasure because the guide clearly also likes some men. Yeah. So I have to take that off, alas.
Yeah, that's fair.
But also because bisexual and pansexual people are valid. Woo! So let's find that and take it off wherever the heck it went.
There's still time for lesbian vampires.
There is still time for lesbian vampires. There's never not time for lesbian vampires. Speaking of which, oh, there it is. Okay, found it. Okay, so where this puts us is we can still very likely get a bingo if we get one fucking Marvel movie guest star. Like, just one.
Person. Just one person.
Just one guy. Just one guy, for fuck's sake. Yeah, that's what I'm rooting for.
I just remembered when you were talking about the revelation of Nandor loving Guillermo at the end of this episode. Yeah, I just feel like there's gonna be people be like, was that a revelation? No, yeah, it was, because MARWA kissed Guillermo multiple times, and MARWA likes whatever Nandor likes.
I'm surprised that that plot line isn't getting the attention that I expected. Like, that I noticed that, like, on social media, is like, I didn't see as many, like,
people talking about
fact confirmations of the fact that that's what happened.
Oh, like him real I did a lot. That's all my Tumblr is right now is that scene. So
good okay.
And it's I've seen a lot of people talking about how, because MARWA likes everything Nandor likes, she gets all of those feelings without the 13 years of repressing those emotions, and the knowledge of, like, how vampire and slayers shouldn't be in relationships, and having to, like, see him as just a familiar, and just she is basically Nandor's raw emotions coming out. And that's what MARWA is. And she, like, that's why immediately, like, she was just like, I don't know what I would do without you, and just immediately kissed and hugged him. And it's so good. I have a lot of feelings about it, and I can't put them into words. I just keep eating the drywall of my house.
Keep eating that drywall, girl. Get your light lunch in.
I'm running out. Like, the show just keeps doing this to me, and just
get your protein. And
also in this episode, the Djinn gifted Nandor 3 more wishes.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So, do you have any guesses as to how he might use those last 3 wishes?
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to have to do some... So the first... I don't know what the order of wishes, but I definitely am anticipating something to do with, like, letting MARWA rest in peace.
Yeah.
Or just, like, go off in life and live a full life in the real world, you know, where she's happy and she doesn't... And, like, she no longer loves all the things that Nandor does.
Yeah.
And I deadass don't know otherwise, honestly. Like, maybe something to do with the Baron. I do not know. And then, like, the third, it's...
What?
The third is going to have something to do with memories. Because we had a setup in episode 1 for, like, why, like, 2 people who, if you sleep with somebody who's a vampire slayer and you're a vampire, or, like, you love that person, then, you could end up like the guide and just have all your memories wiped and, like, end up working forever. So I think, I don't know exactly what that wish looks like, but I think it's going to have something to do with that. Yeah.
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 I'm not even going to think about that. I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah.
I don't know what his 3 wishes could be.
Anything in mind?
I mean, I completely agree with you. I really hope he uses one of those wishes for MARWA to just go live a life, because I think he was really regretting the fact that he made that wish that MARWA liked everything he liked, because like, when he asked her, he just, like, looked so sad, because she had revealed earlier that, like, she didn't know if she wanted to go through with the wedding.
Yeah.
But because Nandor wanted to, so now she does. And then he was like, when did you have those feelings? And it was at the same time that he made that wish. So I think he is regretting marrying her if she doesn't love him.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, you know, from he's always trying to look for love, and, like, he's someone who doesn't have a partner in his life, and that's kind of why he wanted to have this wedding in the first place. Yeah. Also, he wanted to have the wedding because he and Guillermo spent a rainy Sunday watching The Wedding Planner together, but we can unpack that later in the comments of our YouTube section if you would like to. So there's that. This man's having regrets, and I think he should let MARWA live her life and do things that she wants for herself, because she wants to, not because it's what he likes. And I hope he comes to that sort of realization that can happen.
Yeah, no, there's just so much that could happen, I feel like, at this point, and I don't know where we're going, but now I have an idea, and it's not far off from where I was hoping. I think a lot of us were hoping it'd be going, so I'm just like, And I think that there is an ultimate plan here, because the other thing I keep thinking about is the fact that this show has been basically not pre-approved, but like they're going to have 2 more seasons of this show, definitely. Yeah. So I do feel like there is a plan moving forward. Like there's a direction that this is going in. And I'm really fascinated by that.
I think what could happen is Nandor is going to he's going to realize that he loves Guillermo.
Yeah.
He's going to, but at the same time, Freddie's going to show up.
Yeah.
Guillermo's boyfriend. And yeah. I'm living for this, like, angst. I'm living for Nandor, like, finding these emotions and, like, realizing them and, like...
Yeah.
But it's at the wrong time, and it's chef's kiss.
Right person, wrong time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, objections spoken out at a vampire wedding, how do you rate the wedding?
I rate it 5 out of 5. I had no issues with this episode. I thought it was so fun. I had a great time. Marwa likes everything Nandor likes. Nandermo's basically canon now.
It's canon.
It's canon. What more could I want?
No, we got everything we need up here. Yeah.
We do.
We're chilling and vibing.
Yeah. How about you?
I mean, same. This was a great episode. It had everything I love about the show in it. It was kind of just like a full-on... It was like they put on display everything that makes this show work. And I am really excited about what that means for the future of the show. And I'm really excited about what that means for us as fans, that we kind of get to experience this show's growth over the past, 4 seasons up to this point and then moving forward from here. So, yeah, that's it for me. I love this show. I could not be happier with this show. It's everything to me.
Same. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I love it so much. It's so good. It's so special to me. So much has happened. So I'm honestly, y'all, still processing everything that happened in the last episode. Find me on Tumblr if you can. I'm yelling about it there.
So I have no idea.
So this
What's
is
next?
This is the part of the show where we tell you thank you for tuning in to What We Do in the Moonlight. Tune in next week where and then tell you what we're going to talk about next week. But they didn't show a promo for next week.
Yeah, they didn't.
I do know that it's called Pine Barrens, and I don't know what's happening in that episode.
There's some shit going down in New Jersey. I'm calling it.
That would be great. I don't ever read the episode synopsis or even watch the the trailers for the episodes. So I usually never know what's going to happen. Because I just like turning on my TV every Tuesday night and being hit by a Mack truck.
Things organically, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like guessing. I don't like knowing. Like last night was a fucking treat, having no idea how this is gonna go. So, yeah. So tune in next week where we hopefully, get another bingo piece added to our bingo board. We get more Nandermo being canon. Maybe we get some fun stuff with the guide and Nadia again. Yeah.
Yes. We are doing it, man. We're getting there. Wow.
I don't know.
Should we just end the show with a collective scream?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody at home can join along.
Yeah.
Ready?
1, 2,
3.
Ah!